Even inexpensive guitars need love. This is a friend of mine's real inexpensive Epiphone Les Paul. I have my little shop amp ready to rock and roll. You can hear that buzz. So we've got a problem, obviously. For most of us, when we were young, we'd be like, oh my gosh, it's just broken. But the most common things that happens with these that does that, all you really need is contact cleaner. If this is kind of thing is happening to your guitar, this is what you do. Even though I think it's just needing to be cleaned, I am going to check the wiring, just in case there is a loose wire, save me some time and energy later. Well, apart from it being, again, inexpensive components, nothing too gnarly in there, doesn't look busted off. I'm going to check the jack. Wiring is fine. So a little bit of corrosion kind of junk on there, and also the barrel, which would provide the ground, is it just got corrosion and not so pretty. So here's what I usually do, besides of course using a deoxit. I just tear off a little 220. Nothing gnarly. I'm not trying to remove metal, just the buildup. Just cleaning it out. Oh man, so much better. Should have got a close up, but whatevers. Nothing wrong with cleaning. Makes it sound better. It's where the tone lives. I tighten them down so they're not going anywhere, but you don't need to hulk them. Just doing that, let's see if that has helped. Well, shoot. So just doing that helped out. I'm going to clean up all this other stuff just to get rid of those little clicks and pops. I'll show you a tool that I love. Love. Two tools that were worth it in a big way. I got both of them at Stu Mac. They are these two tools. Whee! Slide it over the thing. Because it's nylon, it doesn't scratch up the surface. It's a little barrel from a 1/4-inch cable I took apart at some point. That just keeps it from flying everywhere. Really loose. It did loosen up the volume knob pretty good. So I just caked in junk. This is more time and attention, I'm sure, than some people would put into a relatively inexpensive guitar. Or what am I talking about? It's very, very inexpensive. But it's a friend of mine's guitar, and every guitar needs to be played, I believe. Unless apparently it's a Firebird X, then you run it over with a tractor. These are blemishes in the actual wood. It went out of the factory like this. Grade A wood, it is not. Funny thing that we seem to forget is that a lot of great musicians, their first records were all inexpensive guitars. I mean, how people drool now about stuff like the old Les Paul Specials from the 50s and 60s, but those are student guitars. Yeah, it's nice to get a nicer instrument, and there's definitely things to say about nicer instruments as far as build quality and the way the neck feels. For me, it's often the neck feel. But as far as making rock and roll, use what tools you have. Double check. Yeah. Sounds so good. Rock and roll.